Welcome back to the Esther Effect, day 6, chapter 6 of the book of Esther. We're walking 10 days through this thing, and we are more than halfway through. I'm glad you decided to come back, but let's go ahead and jump into chapter 6. So it's the night before the second banquet, dinner, whatever you want to call it, that Esther is having for the king and Haman. But the king can't sleep. Have you ever had a night where you just could not seem to get good sleep? Like you kept waking up in the middle of the night several times throughout the night. You just could not sleep. Well, this was the king. So he decided, you know what, since I'm already awake, I'm going to ask my servants to bring me the record book. As he's going through the book, he finds out that the man sitting at the gate, Mordecai, is the same man that saved his life not too long ago. So he asked his, eunuchs at that moment, how did we honor him? Like, how did we honor the man who saved my life? And they were like, we didn't. Oops. So the king asked, is there anybody around? Like, I need to know if there's anybody around who can help me honor this man. Catch this. At that very moment, guess who's walking up to the palace gates? Haman. He's coming to inform the king that the tower has been built to kill Mordecai. So he walks on into the palace, and the king says to Haman, how would you honor a man for doing something amazing for your king? I'm paraphrasing, but that's what you know what I mean? He literally asked him how would he honor him, right? So Haman and his prideful, egotistical self automatically thinks he's talking about him. He gotta be talking about me. So here's what you should do, king. Take one of your royal robes that you've already worn and a royal horse. Put a crown on the horse's head and have the prince robe this man and parade him around the town. So the king says, good. Why don't you do that for Mordecai? Because that man saved my life. And don't miss anything that you just said. Do it all. You do it. Not get my prince. You do it. So Mordecai goes, he robes Haman goes, he robes Mordecai, and he parades him around the city. Mordecai goes back to the palace gates because keep in mind, he's still in mourning, he's still in the sackcloth and ashes because to him, he's still finna die. While Haman rushes home to his wife and his advisors. He runs back home. He tells them what happened and how disgusted and how humiliated he is. And his wife says, but babe, if this man is really a Jew, like you say he is, you're ruined. You're finished. Like, because you're trying to kill the man that saved the king. And so at the end of chapter 6, we find ourselves with the king and Haman on their way to this second banquet or dinner or whatever you want to call it. Let me grab my notes because I don't want to miss a thing because there's some crazy things happening in this chapter. Listen, this right here is the ultimate like spiritual reversal. Like the ultimate reversal. Listen, there were 2 times in history that I found documented where something bananas happened and they had to reverse it. Here you go. Steve Harvey and the Miss Universe pageant in 2015. If you remember what happened, Steve Harvey announced the wrong winner. Say what, bro? And so the crazy part about that is the rightful queen ended up getting her crown anyway. Someone else wore it for a little bit, but the rightful queen got her day, right? This was not about uh humiliation or I should say what turned into humiliation then turned around and became vindication because she absolutely ended up getting her crown. But like Steve Harvey, bro, the ultimate reversal. Number 2, Super Bowl, the Patriots versus the Falcons in 2017. Did you watch the Super Bowl? I don't know. I didn't. But when I read what happened here, like The Steelers have done this on several occasions. Not in the Super Bowl to my knowledge, but like regular games, like we've done this kind of thing. So the Atlanta Falcons led the New England Patriots 28-3 with only a quarter and a half left to play. Everyone thought the game was over. Commentators, fans, even players were celebrating early. Like they thought the game was done. But Tom Brady came back and led one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, forcing overtime and winning the game 34-28. It was 28-3. So their defense stopped every offensive play. Like every one. They stopped it. They didn't score another point. And the Patriots came back and won 34-28. Listen, what seemed impossible turned completely around before the final whistle. What you're going through might seem impossible, but don't count yourself out if the final whistle hasn't blown. Because God can absolutely turn that thing around in your favor and end up humiliating the people who initially wanted you dead. Sweet Jesus. Listen, that right there is a reason to shout. And I know that's real churchy, but it is. That's a reason to get excited. That's a reason to be like overwhelmed with celebration and glory. Because listen, what seemed impossible can be turned around in an instant. Sweet Jesus. Oh my gosh. So listen, God's sovereignty is all over this thing. He wouldn't allow the king to sleep. He wouldn't allow him to sleep. And then he gave him the unction to check the record book. That wasn't just by happenstance. It wasn't just like coincidence that, you know what, I can't sleep. I'm going to go ahead and read this book. No. It was all in alignment for what God had in store. The divine reversal happened. The Hebrew literary theme of, I can't even pronounce it, but it means the opposite happening, runs deep in here. It's God's signature move, turning the plot upside down. I can't pronounce the Hebrew word, but that's okay. Like divine reversal. Haman thought he was going to kill that man. Mordecai thought he was going to die. And at this point, he still thinks he's going to die. But Haman thought he was going to kill that man. And now he can't. Oh, listen, this is the classic case of justice delayed. Like, not denied. Like, justice absolutely has been delayed at this point. It's not been denied. God is working out everything behind the scenes for his people. So keep in mind that God is working things out on your behalf without you even knowing what he's doing. Everything is going to line up the way that it's supposed to so that you can come out victorious. God is working it out just for you. He's turning this thing around, right? The song says, sooner or later, it'll turn in my favor. It's turning around for me. Listen, that thing is turning around for you. Like absolutely turning around for you. So stop thinking that you're stuck. Stop thinking that things aren't working out. Stop thinking that God is not working and he hasn't heard your prayer. Because that thing that has you bound is being turned around to work in your favor. Have a fantastic night and I'll see y'all tomorrow.